What's going on, guys? Welcome back to LMDiesel, and today we're doing an overview of my 600 horsepower Cummins Dually. All right, so let's go ahead, walk around this thing, and we'll kind of give y'all the full rundown of it. So as far as what it is, this is a 2004 Ram 3500 with an NV5600, and it is also a Laramie. So it's got those beautiful leather seats and all the fun stuff of the Laramie. So to start with exterior, what we have done to it, let's start with lighting. So we have all LEDs in the headlights. We have switchback blinkers. I don't know who made the headlights, but Oxbeam did the blinkers, which appreciate them. Got some aftermarket LED fog lights. They're really bright. Those are on Amazon. I don't remember the brand. And then Co-Light actually sent out this light bar. There's a small little light bar here that I got hooked up to the fog light, so it's super nice and bright, so I really enjoy that. The truck also has a 12-piece rock light kit. That's from LEDUR, but I also have some Oxbeam wheel lights that are just on the front wheels, because those are the only wheels you can see them, so I got some wheel lights there. Going to under the hood, this is where it kind of gets fun and unique. So as far as the engine in this bad boy, so this is actually a 6.7 Cummins that was swapped in to this truck. It is not a 5.9, so 6.7, which is super cool. We got a set of Flux 30% overs in here. Big thanks to Flux for hooking me up there. We have a Borg Warner 7474 turbo. That is hood stacked, of course, 4-inch pipe, so that's pretty sweet. We got Hamilton valve springs and Hamilton push rods and a fresh head gasket on it as well. It also has the 6.7 CP3 as well, which is like a little bigger. The truck is tuned right now with just a Smarty, but eventually we'll probably go over to HB tuners and do that. And of course, I rattle canned this to try to make it look a bit more pretty. It looks okay. And a couple more things for the engine, just cooling wise. We have a 180-degree thermostat in here, and then we also have a coolant bypass in it as well. That's kind of the overview for the engine for now. So yeah, on to suspension. So this truck is sitting pretty on a 5-inch lift from Rough Country, which you can see here. And, you know, pretty easy install. This lift technically isn't supposed to fit this truck because of the rear leafs, but if you pull a leaf out, it will fit, or if you just get longer U-bolts, it'll fit. But yeah, so we have the Rough Country lift kit here, all the goodies there. We also have a Rough Country dual steering stabilizer setup in the front, as well as a fresh power steering pump and a fresh steering gear. So as far as the rear, we have the Rough Country 3-inch lift block in the back, and then I took one leaf out as well as the overload springs. That was to keep the truck from having too much lift in the rear so that it was even, and it also helped to kind of loosen up the rear so that it wasn't so stiff while driving. I do have airbags in the back. We have airlift airbags in the rear, so I wasn't really too worried about towing just because I can always air those airbags up. And then to top it off, we also have some far from stock traction bars on this as well, so it really keeps that axle centered even though we have that 3-inch lift block. So of course, big thanks to FASS for sending out their fuel pump. We have a FASS 165 on here, so that thing has been working great. So that leads me to the interior of the truck. It's nothing too special, but of course we have our wonderful Laramie leather interior. We have our custom shift knob here, courtesy of the previous owner. Everyone loves this thing. The transmission in this thing, by the way, it has an NV5600 with a South Bend dual disc clutch. It works pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. We also have a 1-piece aluminum drive shaft connected to that transmission going to the rear axle. As far as the gauges, we just have glow shift gauges inside here. Just the pods here on the pillar, and then the pods up here. So they work pretty good. We have trans temp, EGT, rail pressure, fuel pressure, and boost pressure. So we got a nice wide range for the gauges here. All right, so another thing that everyone always asks me about this truck is what is the wheel and tire setup? So of course, we have the legendary Fuel Mavericks front and back. This is a 20x12 up front, and then just their regular 20-inch dually wheel in the back. And then we have the Eturo Blade MTs in here. This is a 35 1250 R20, and they ride pretty decent. They're like a little noisy, but they ride pretty decent. So they look good, and I also love that this is not a dually wheel up front. I really think that that really helps to set this truck apart and really kind of stand out and pop out. So yeah, that's the wheel and tire setup. So a piece that I forgot about the lighting upgrades is, of course, big thanks to Boost Auto for sending out the cab lights on this thing. We just got those installed, and we also just got a set of the Boost Auto mirrors for this, so those will be going on in the next video. Well, before we take everything off, we had to send it real quick, so we're just gonna do some quick donuts in the field. So I just clicked it in third for this and just revved her up a little bit. Feel free to move the camera however you want. Pop that clutch. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. This is the run through, this is the overview of the 600 horse 6.7 hood stack Cummins. We're making some big changes on this thing. We're going to be taking this turbo off, we're getting rid of the hood stack, we're putting a full exhaust back on it, we're putting the AC back on it, and we're fixing a bunch of little odds and ends. But I wanted to kind of do one last final video with this thing before we took the old turbo off, before we took the hood stack off and everything like that. By the way, that hood stack and turbo will be for sale, so hit me up if you are interested in it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I will catch y'all in the next one.